Hi, welcome back. So today again we are going to continue our Node.js course. So here we have the syllabus like which we have completed. So these are the topics which we have completed before the previous classes. Like we have done with project initialization and then HTTP status code and HTTP. So last class I think we have completely studied the HTTP, right? So entire details regarding the HTTP. So further classes we'll be keep on seeing the global objects. Today class we are going to discuss global object and default module. Okay, so I'll discuss in detail like what is global object, why we are going to study, what is the exact reason for studying global object and default module. Okay, and what are the available global objects are there in Node.js and what are the default module are available in the Node.js. Okay, so why it is default and what is the reason behind it, why we are calling this module as a default module. Okay, so all those things we'll see. Then further we'll see how to create a server using HTTP and all those detailed discussion we'll do. It's a long way to go still. Okay, then we'll go for the project. Okay, let's start with. Okay, so global object and default module. So first, what is global object? Why we are going to study global object? What are the different module we are going to see in the global object? Okay, so basically global object is global in nature. Like see anything like one example I can give you, the console. Like normally what you will do, you will write console.log, right? You will just to print some output on the terminal, right? So you will use console.log. So to print output on the terminal, you will use console.log. So similar to console, there are some of the properties and some of the methods are available, okay, which can be used without creating or without referencing anything. Okay, like see, generally what happens, like if you want to access any property or method from the object, first you will create that object, then you will create properties or methods inside that object, and then you will reference those property and method by the name of that object. So what I mean to say, like let obj equals, okay, then here let's suppose one property is there, property called let's suppose I can just tell length, let's suppose property, so it's a 23, something like that is there. Okay, one property is there and one method is there, that is get length. Okay, get length, so where it returns something like uh, length is some 23, something like that it's returning. Okay, so this object, if you want to access this object or access these two methods and property, you have to first create these, then create this both, include this both, and then you can access this, right? Then you can access this. So you can just write obj dot length. Okay, so that's how you will access. Okay, then you'll give me 23, it will give you 23. Okay, so this is one thing, but in but if you want to access this obj dot length, you are creating and then you are using, right? But if you want to access this console, see in the code you are writing console dot log, so this log is a method, console is an object, right? So these all accessing, but you are not creating this console separately, right? You can't see anywhere console is created or log is created, that method log, so you're not seeing, right? So if you're not seeing this, then what happens means it's included globally in the Node.js. Okay, so globally in the Node.js. So for that, we no need to write the code or we no need to reference it from anywhere. Direct use we can do. Okay, it's like a default, something has been created in our Node.js and that directly we are trying to access or use it. Okay, so why we are trying to access and use it? Because these are all the things which help us to interact with, like see this helping us to interact with terminal, right? So anything we want to print on the terminal or we want to get input from the terminal or something like that, we are using this console.log, right? So similar to this, there are multiple things are there, okay, which we can take advantage of already available things from the Node.js and we can get our work done. Okay, so that is the reason it's called as global, and global in the sense means it can be used anywhere, any pages, any applications. Okay, it can be used. Okay, so in this module, we are going to see first introduction, what is global. Second, we are going to see objects, what are the global objects. And third, we are going to see what are the default modules. Like modules, I'll discuss detail in upcoming classes, like what is module exactly. Okay, so today let's go for global objects. So introduction. So as I said, global objects. So Node.js has set of global objects and default module. Okay. So as I told, like it's a so many global objects are available, right? So first is global, one keyword. Okay, this is global. Second is process. Third is console. So I think you already aware about the console, right? So whenever you want to print anything, then you will write console.log, console dot some error. So all those things you will write. So that is console object, right? So similar to console, there are other object as well, like global, process. One property is called dir name. One is underscore underscore file name, buffer, set timeout. I think already you have aware of, right? Set timeout. We will write directly set timeout to make the printing anything we have to print based on some delay. Then we'll go for set timeout, right? And if you want to clear the time, then just we write clear timeout. Similarly, set interval, clear interval, set immediate. I'll tell you why, when, what is the situation set immediate will get work. Okay, so that we'll discuss. And similar to that, list of global modules are there. So this I'll discuss in the upcoming classes. Now I don't want to discuss regarding this. So let's jump and see what is the use of this global object. What is the use of this process? What is the use of this console? Okay, so first let's go all the global objects. Okay, so first global objects are global. So there is a keyword called global. So if you add any method or any variable, okay, with this global keyword, then direct you can use entire these pages, or you can use this app name other pages as well by making this import. It's like exporting, importing. I think already you have studied import, export, right? So using this also we can do. Okay, using global.app name. If you are writing here, if you are writing require dot slash index.js, then it's referencing this is data.js, right? And it's a index.js. So data.js can access app name from index.js. So similar to like what we studied in import and export. So export, what we used to do, we used to export some of the properties and method in one file, and other file what we used to do, we used to first require or import that file, and then we used to use that. So similar to that, this global keyword you can use for importing and exporting. But global is not preferred, because global as a name suggests, like it can be changed, the data can be changed. Like see here, the global app name is Apple, but here the global app names can be changed, someone can modify it. Okay, so because of that reason we want to use global mostly. Okay, but as a Node.js developer, you have to get to know like what global. There are one keyword called global as well. Okay, understood? So we can transfer the data between one file to another file using global. We can set multiple properties, object, functions, and all. Okay, so in global. Okay, so next next object will move on to process. Process. What is process basically? Process is anything going under execution. Like if you are writing any .js file and you are going to execute that .js file. Let's suppose I have created here index.js file. So whenever it went into runtime, like once I'm trying to do node space index.js, so that is kind of like execution phase. Means I'm trying to execute this index.js file, right? So that phase becomes process. So this will become one process. Okay, index.js file become one process. Okay, it's like a program under execution, that is called as process. Okay, so why we need this object? What is the use of all these things? So let's suppose there are some of the scenario, based on scenario we will understand why we need these all. Okay, so here let's suppose I have here I am executing this file, okay, index.js, but I wanted to get parameter from the terminal. Okay, some parameter from the terminal. Okay, so if I wanted to get parameter from the terminal, then what I do, I just write node space filename.js space. Let's suppose first parameter I wanted to pass as let's suppose apple apple. Okay, let's get this data. So I wanted to get whatever terminal what we passed, that should be transferred to this file. So to get this data from the to the file, we'll just try to use process. So process dot argv argument. Okay, argument. So what will happen, like whatever argument will passing by through terminal, that will be accepted as a argument variable. Okay, it's a argument variable. So once we execute this, we can see apple will be printed on here with some other data. Okay, so basically if I pass argv, so what happens here, first parameter, it is having what is the node, like what is the path of the node which is installed in the system. So first element is that. Second element is the path of this file, like which you are executing. And third element will be your parameter, that is apple, which you are passing. Okay, so basically you have to write argv of 2, starting from the 2. So if you are writing directly argv of 2, then you will get apple. Basically we are passing apple. Let's suppose one more parameter, if I want to pass apple and banana, right? So both should come, right? So 2 at the 2 index it is apple, at third index it is banana, right? So now if you print, we'll get apple and banana printed here based on this. Okay, so there is one way, like to pass the data from terminal to the file directly, we can use argv. Okay, so for this purpose process is required. Let's suppose you want to use env file. Env file is not based on, it's not like, it's a environment file. So I'll discuss regarding this, what is environment file and all, okay, in the upcoming classes, because now is not the proper time to explain you what is .env. Okay, next is version. Okay, so let's discuss regarding all the process objects. So I have all the process objects, so these are the things. So argv, as I discussed, like it's containing command line argument. So see, first line it denotes path to the node.js install. Second element, it denotes path to the file, which file we are going to execute. Third denotes the argument which you passed, like node space app.js argument 1, so it will execute argument 1. Fourth element followed by argument 2 and argument 2 and so on, followed by that. So if I will use process.argv 0, 1, 2, 3, then it will give based on the argument what we are to pass. Okay, so it's like basically used for command line argument, argv. Okay, so these all you have to get to know as of now, so that later once you have to pass, like let's suppose you are going to deploy your project server, okay, and you want to pass the environment data, you want to pass some data to the project which initiates the project, which starts the project. That time you have to get the data with process.argv. So these things as of now just you have to keep in mind, so that in future if any type of scenario comes, like you have to get the data from terminal or while executing any program, you have to get the data. So that time you have to pass the data, that time you have to use this way to get the data from the command line. Okay, that is argv. Okay, next is env. So env is nothing but it's like a current environment. So there are multiple environment available, like see, whenever you go to any company, there will be multiple server available. Like one project will have multiple server. Okay, so why multiple server means, in each server, like let's suppose one server will be provided to directly view of the customer. So one server directly customer will view, so that server should not break. And one server will be provided to developer, because developer will be keep on changing, keep on updating that data, right? So that is the reason one server separately will be provided to developer and one server separately provided to customer. Okay, and both server have the same code. Okay, same page. So I'll create some of the different server, I'll create later once I'll go to the server creation and all. That time I'll create same application in multiple port and servers, and then I'll show you how it is running. Okay, and that time we'll use .env file. So what is the use of this .env file, I'll discuss in later. Okay, so we are skipping this. Next, version. So version is nothing but, let's suppose someone asks you, okay, you are let's suppose someone asks you the scenario like, okay, which version of node.js you are working, on. Okay, so either you can write in the command prompt node space -v, but if you want to capture this version in your code, then in that scenario what you have to do, you have to use process dot version. So what you can write, you can write process dot, so it's everything, this process object is everything related to the process, related to the node.js environment and all the things. Okay, your file running. Okay, so everything is like that. So I'm just writing console.log process.version. Okay, so it will denote. So first let's verify like what is the version we are having. So node-v will have version 22.7.0, or same thing if you want to execute through JavaScript, then just run node space index.js, you will get the same output. See, either we can do using command, or if you want to get it from the JavaScript, you can write process.version. Okay, means the process, the index.js which is going to execute on the node environment, what is that environment version on which it is going to execute. Okay, so that is version. Okay, this is very easy, just you have to understand, okay, what is the version, what is argv, what is env. So now it's just the initial start of the class, right? So I'm not going to start creation of server, but before that these all things you have to understand, you have to get to know. Okay, these all things are available, because at any stage of your project and any stage of your like application development phase, you need all these things. That time you will get confused, like how I can do that, how I can get, like let's suppose tomorrow I'll tell you, okay, in the project you get the data from the terminal and then use that data and change some function behavior, something like that I'll tell you. And that time you will get confused, like, okay, how I should get the data from the terminal? You have not taught me, or I am not aware of how to get data from the terminal. So based that time, what you will remember? You will remember argv, right? So similar way, version, right? So platform is nothing but this is also one another property of the process object. Like platform denotes like which platform you are running this project. Either you are running in Windows, then it will give platform as Win2 2032 or 64. If you are running in Linux, then it will give you the Linux. But if I'm running in Mac, it is giving Darwin. Okay, so which of the platform it's working. Okay, so that is platform, process dot platform. Okay, architecture, so architecture is nothing but it's a x64-bit or 32-bit of processor. So regarding that architecture level it will be telling to us. Okay, so these all just you get to know, no need to pressurize yourself to make it understand or learn, just you understand like these all things are available. So in interview they might ask you like, yeah, tell me some of the process object properties or methods, then you can just tell like, yeah, I know the properties called argv which takes command line argument, I know the env which creates an environment variable, I know version which can get the version of the node.js, I know like platform, on which platform or on which device we are working on, that I get to know. So all these properties is available like that, you can just know. Okay, next we have console. Okay, so console is nothing but like already we know about console, we have done lots of code, lots of times we have executed this console, right? But today we are going to see detail in of console. Till now we have just used console.log, right? Only one statement we have used, that is log, means only one method of console we have used. But there are so many methods available in console and different uses are there. Okay, so list of methods are log, already we have used, it's like a log. So console.log, nothing but what we are going to do, console.log, we are going to output the message, like anything. If you want to display some message in the terminal, we can use console.log. And this log file can have multiple argument, like either you can pass one argument, or you can pass two argument, or you can pass 4, 5, 6. So it has multiple argument, okay, attached to it. Okay, so any variable number of argument you can pass to console.log. Okay, so this is logging, like output the message to the command line okay, or terminal. Fine. Next, console.error. So console.error and console.log, these all are like displaying the message only. But error what denotes, like, no, it's just denote like, okay, we are means some places, like see, you are going to write a code. So code will have fail case, code will have success case. So in success case, if you want to display some message, okay, something got successfully delivered, then that in that scenario you use console.log. Okay, but if you want to display some error message, then what you write? You write console.error. So in that case, what will happen? As a error type or some color change will be there or some styling or the detailing of the error, it will display. So it's like just displaying the message so that people will get to know, oh, this is the error statement. This is not the normal statement. Okay. So that's why we'll write error. Okay. Console.error. So to display an error in any of your program, okay, you write console.error. So which handles the error or which display the message of error. So that is error. Next is warning. Warning means what? Warning is also like it also display the message, but warning message. Like see, before doing anything, it will give you the warning like, okay, you should not do this, you should not do that. Means it's just like a restriction kind of thing. So that type of message, if you want to display to the user, like some warning in your project, like let's suppose warning means what? Like if you want to delete something, it will ask you, okay, that is kind of confirmation, but it's kinds of like warning. They'll tell, okay, if you delete this data, then your other data also will delete it. That is kind of warning. So are you sure want to proceed? Something like that. So that type of message you can provide in console.war. Okay. Other is info. So it's similar to log. If you will provide info, it will print the same. It will provide log, it will print the same. But sometimes color might be changing. Let's see. If I'll go here and write console.log and I'm just printing the message hello world, okay, and same I'm printing as info, okay, info. Now see, just like information providing to the user. Now see, here the changes are not coming, but anyway, it's both are the same. Like either info you are writing or log you are writing. It's just displaying the message on the terminal. Okay, so both are used for. So basically, entire this console is only used for create message, writing the message to the terminal. But if I'll write warn console.warn, then I think now you can see something you can see. Okay, you can just see hello world, how are you? Okay, now if you see the color of the text has got changed, right? The color of the text has got changed. Means this type of coloring and all will happen, no? Like on the terminal, then you'll understand, okay, this is normal console.log, this is normal console.log. Okay, this is the warning message showing. If error, then it might show with this one. What is that? Error. Okay, it might show in the red color, I guess, or else it won't. See, it's showing in red color. So if you want to display anything error message, okay, then you can write console.error instead of writing console.log, so that by the color itself we will understand, okay, this is the error. So entire this text message, okay, this is the error message, this is the log message or info message, or this is the warning message. Okay, so display the multiple types of messages. These all things are there, but these all things you will not find in the net until unless you want to search what console methods are there, because every time you will be keep on using console.log, console.log. In error time also you'll be keep on using console.log. But these all things, if you get to know, no, it will be like proper impact on your profile. Like when interviewer asks you like, okay, print this or print that, or what is the console, and explain about console. So if you tell all these things, no, then he will get impressed. Like, okay, you have that level of knowledge of console. Like console, many people ignores, right? Because it's just a console. It's just displaying masses on the terminal. So why need to study more about this? But these all things, small things only gives you the depth knowledge of the things in the Node.js. Okay. So that is the reason I am teaching you this. Okay, same way if you want to debug, then you have just write debugging. If you want to debug any Node.js application, it's like a console.log only. Okay, let's suppose if you want to clear. So there is one method called clear. Now see, I have printed so many console, right? I'll print here warn message also. Warn message also I'll print. Be careful. So many. You have one file and it has thousands consoles are there, right? With a thousands consoles, and you are seeing the thousand consoles, right? and then it's like a messy seeing every time this console. So if you want to clear, okay, after reading all this, I just want to clear. Okay, so just give some time. So set timeout. I can just give some set timeout. Okay, and just okay, so people can take at least minimum or maximum of 2 to 3 minutes or 10 minutes time, or 10 seconds, 20 seconds to read the message. After that, clear all the console so that it looks proper in the terminal. Okay, so in that scenario, what you will do, you will just write console dot clear. Okay, so what happens after, let's suppose I'm just giving 5 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds. So read this log, read this info, print this error, print this warning, and then after 5 seconds, clear everything. Okay, so that I'm trying to tell. So see, every time, see, I'm writing here clear, clear, clear. Instead of that, once I read the message, after some time it should get clear. Then I no need to write clear every time, right? So let's see. So now I run Node.js. Now see, all the things are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it will boom clear. See, it got clear. Understood? So this clear is required for that. Okay. So these all things, small things also I'm giving you information so that you can use it in your project later and you can get some good knowledge on it. Okay. So this is one thing. Another is table. So let's suppose if you have any data coming from the database, like any data, let's suppose you are getting the list of student data, right? Student data you are getting from the database, like multiple, like name colon John is colon 24. Similar to this, we have multiple data. Okay. Okay, let's change to Harry, Mary, Jack. 26, 29, and now let's try to print this student data. So if you print using console.log, no problem, it will print, right? Still it will print. So it will just print. I'll just write here student data, okay, and I can just write here, let's suppose student data. So still it prints, right? Still it prints. So you can see the student data is printing like this normal format, right? The object format. But if you want to print this student data in table format, so instead of that, just you write the table. Okay, just you write the table. Understood? Now, if you print this table, now you can see there is a oh, sorry, it's table. We have to pass the exact table. No need of message passing. Okay. So what happens here? So now if I print same student data, if I print this one node index.js, now see how beautiful the table has came here. See, oh, it got cleared. One more time I'm doing. See how beautiful it started with. It created the table on the terminal, right? So this is one use of table. Okay, so that we'll get to know. For viewing part, it is okay. Okay, time and time end. So there is method called time and end. Let's suppose you wanted to understand, like you have one array, or else I'll just go for previous array. I'll just delete all this. Okay, so you have an array, right? And you want to loop this array. You want to loop this array, and you want to access name of from this array. So I'll just write let item of student data. Okay, and I'm just doing console.log. What is that? Item.name. Okay, I'm just printing the name, and I wanted to check how much time it's taking to loop all the array, entire element of this array, how much time it's taking, what is the time taken for this operation. So for that, what we can write, we can just write console.time, which is time starting, okay, and then you can write here at last console dot time end. Okay, time end. So now what it says, from here it starts like, okay, time started from here, and then do loop and then end. So it will give you what is the total time taken to loop to this array. Okay, so let's try to print this. Now see, total time taken is 3.995 milliseconds. Okay, 3 points. Now it is taking 4 milliseconds. So something like that, it will give you the time. So this type of things are useful, okay, in doing project later. You will understand what is your performance of the code. If you are trying to execute any code, how much time it's taking, right? So that is one thing. You can check the map timing, like map, filter, find. So all those you can execute and you can check what is the timing they are taking, what is the timing normal for loop it's taking, what is how much time the map is taking. So it's all depends on the environment, like what type of processor. It's see, you are seeing here 3 milliseconds in my system. Maybe my system is very fast, or maybe my system is very slow. But in your system, the system is based on the configuration, the processor. So based on that, it depends. Okay, how much time it's taking to execute the piece of code. Okay, so that is the use of console.time and console.time. Now if someone asks you, okay, explain about console, then how many things you have in your mind? Like console.log is there, we can log, console.info is there, console.debug is there, console.error is there, console.table is there, console.time, time end is there. So many console you have studied today, right? But previously, from these many days, like from past like 4 to 5 months, you were studying JavaScript. You are only knowing one console, that is console.log. Okay, so this is the detailed understanding of console. Okay, now next we'll move on to dir name, underscore dir name. So let's suppose, see here index.js is there, right? So index.js file is there, but I wanted to get to know this file belongs to which directory. Okay, which directory or which folder this belongs to. So give me the path of that folder. So to get that, okay, to get that, just will write underscore dir name. Okay, means give the directory name where this file included. So which directory it included? Test-API. So I will get the directory name. See, so it's directory name. Okay, users, in users Sandeep Jaswal, in download folder test API. So this type of path will be useful once you are going to copy from one place to another place, or once you are doing some joining of the paths. Okay, so that time these all will be useful. Let's suppose if you want to access the file. So to accessing the file, you need the proper path of the file, right? So that time you can use this dir name. Okay, so similar we have, this is the directory name. That's why it's not giving index.js with it, but it's just giving the which directory this file belongs to. Okay, so similar to that we have file name. So underscore two underscore, okay, two underscore followed by file name. So file name will give you on which file this code is getting executed. Okay, so complete path. So now see the difference. Dir name, it give you only the directory on which folder it is, this file name, and the file name underscore file name, it gives you this code is executing inside which file. So it's a index.js file. Okay, so this type of information it will give you, dir name and file name. Now you will understand why I am studying this. What is the use of dir name? What is the use of file name? But once you go and do the server, because see, if you are going to create a server, you have to understand how to first get to know about the server, how to get to know, okay, what process is running on, how to get to know how I can take the data from terminal, how I should get to know like how to display the message, how to see the version of my server, how to see the which platform the server is running. So everything related to server you will understand. Then you are going to create a server later, it will be useful for you. Okay, so that is the reason we are studying all these things. Okay, so fifth is file name. Next is set timeout. Already we know set timeout means what it will do. It will display the message based on some delay time. So whatever delay time will be there, we'll just write in the milliseconds. Okay, and it will display the message set interval. Set timeout, right? Already we have discussed it lot time, right? And it will give 2000 milliseconds is nothing but it's a 2 seconds. Okay, so after 2 seconds the things will happen, whatever written in the functions, callback functions, it will just print that. Okay, so this already we have done. Okay, set interval. So set interval is nothing but, see, set timeout. If we are writing set timeout, okay, set timeout if you are writing, okay, and if you are setting it at 2000, so basically what happens, it will print the console inside it after 2000 milliseconds, after 2 seconds. Okay, so basically this statement will execute after 2 seconds. Now see, 1 2 print it. Okay, but see, once it printing, again it's returning back to the terminal. There is nothing, no anything is happening. But if you want to print at every 2 seconds, okay, at every 2 seconds, okay, if you want to print at every 2 seconds, then what you will do, you will just write, instead of set timeout, you will write set interval. So set interval, what it does, it will print every 2 seconds. So it will be keep on printing in a loop. Okay, it will be keep on printing in a loop. See, every 2 seconds it will be keep on printing. See, till you want to stop from here, or till you want stop by writing clear interval. So how to write clear interval? Just pass here interval, interval. Okay, and just reference this and just write clear interval, something like that. If you'll write no, then it will just clear interval. Directly it's interval. Maybe by some condition you can just write. Okay, after some condition you can write. Like if what we can do, I can just write set timeout. Set timeout. Okay, after 10 seconds. Okay, after 10 seconds, just clear the data. Means call the clear interval. Okay, don't call direct, but after 10 seconds you call the clear interval. Okay, so it will be keep on printing, keep on printing, keep on printing. After 10 seconds it will just clear. After that it will stop printing. See, after 10 seconds, means 2 2 2 2 2. Okay, so after 10 seconds it stopped. Okay, something like that, it's happening. Got it? Understood? So this is clear. So you have to clear interval, you have to set interval we have. Okay, so set interval and clear interval. So set immediate. Set immediate is nothing but it's an internal callback. It's happened. So it's always immediately it will call. So any operations happens inside the loop. So I wanted to discuss regarding this event loop cycles and all in NodeJS architecture. That is the reason I'm not focusing more on this. Okay, so just you get to know, like set immediate, one method is there which will also execute immediately anything, and this will be called before set. What is that? Set timeout. Okay, set immediate. So regarding detail on this, I'll just go for event loop in NodeJS architecture. In that place, I'll discuss again set immediate. Okay, so these are methods are there. Okay, so today we have discussed regarding global object, where it's work as a export import type, right? We can transfer the data from one place to another place using global keyword. Same way we studied about process, like knowing about the node process, like what is the version, what is the platform, how to take data from the terminal. So all those things we have discussed, right? Next we have discussed about console, like there are multiple consoles messages we can display, like in error format, in info format, log format, okay, table format we can display. So based on different types of messages, different consoles are available. So that we discussed today. Another thing we discussed, like okay, set timeout we discussed, like how if you want to display any message after some interval of time, after some delay time, then we can use set timeout. If you want to keep on printing within some interval of time, then you can write set interval. Set immediate is like a printing instantly, but there is some process behind the set interval that I'll discuss in the further classes. Okay, so these all things are there which you have to get to know before starting the project. Okay, now these are the global object we have seen. So we have completed today global object. Okay, so tomorrow we will see global module. So what is the global module or default module available? So what is module all about? Okay, and if default module, then where it is the main module, what is the difference of main module and global module? Okay, so all those things we'll discuss tomorrow. So this is somewhat lengthy part. This was very small part. Okay, Okay, Amar, everything is fine. Okay, thank you, Amar. Yeah.